Welcome back, everyone, to the Bear Down Ball Out podcast. It's Big Drew here. It's been a few days since I got some videos. I pretty much lost my voice at the Bears playoffs game, but the Bears season is over. We had a blast. We made that playoff run. The city is vibing, and now we're jumping into the Cubs season and looking at 2026 and some of the upcoming games. I'm rolling down to Arizona here this week. I'll be down there for a couple weeks, hoping to grab some spring training games. I'm already looking at the schedule, which kind of brings me to this video. So, right off the bat, spring training kicks off down Mesa, Arizona, February 20th, and our first game is against the White Sox. Gotta love that. Crosstown rivalry right off the bat, down in Mesa. It's a fun ballpark. There's about 12 different teams down there in the Cactus League. It's practically 16 teams, I guess, by now. And there's stadiums all over. So spring training baseball is a vibe. It's a thing. It's a great time. But I'm going to focus more on the season schedule right now. We'll talk about the 2026 Cubs season schedule, what games I'm excited about, and what games I'm really trying to go to Wrigley for. Now, last year, the schedule was really weird. They actually started off in Tokyo. They went to like Japan, if I remember correctly, and they played a few games in Japan. Then they came back, and I think they played two or three more preseason games at the end of March. That was just kind of really weird before they made it back to Wrigley sometime end of March, end of April. I know I kind of was out. I went to one of the opening day games. So that whole thing was weird right off the bat. I even think we took a couple of losses and they considered a couple of the games home games. I don't like seeing them not get home games at Wrigley. Their winning percentage is a lot better at Wrigley. Plus, it's just great for the fans. So, again, that's just all about the MLB trying to get money, just like the NFL is doing their London thing. So I got some notes. I made some notes. I'll drop the link to the Cubs schedule here in the description for any of you. You can print off your schedule. And part of this is what I do for like my yearly planning. When I'm looking at 2026, my life goals, career goals, a lot of it's sports games and a lot of it's going to events. And I try to chart out my whole year and looking at what events I want to go to and what I want to do, where I'm going to be, and trying to fit that schedule. Now, everyone's got busy schedules. You got careers, you got kids, you got jobs, you got things going on. So we're trying to fit in the right games at the right time. So, right off the bat, we have the first opening day game of the season for the Cubs is at Wrigley Field, and it is March 26th. And it looks like it's against Washington, if my notes are correct. That's a Thursday game. They have it slotted for the 1:20 PA day game. Should be a good time. Now, we never know what the weather's going to be in Chicago. It could be a little chilly. If you end up with some of those tickets that are down in the shaded area, you're looking at 30s, 40s, and 50s. Dress appropriately. I rock a hoodie. I throw a jersey over the hoodie, and if it gets warm, then I can take one of them off. But I'm guessing it's pretty cold there on a Thursday game. So I might go to that game, might not. A lot of people start working and things. But the next game is Saturday at Wrigley Field. Again, we're looking at that 1:20 time slot. They play Saturday, Sunday. They play that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday right there. So that weekend of end of March, you're looking at the 28th, 29th at Wrigley Field, opening weekend of baseball. Electric. The city should be vibing. There should be lots of action. You're going to see Cubs jerseys everywhere. That's a great game to kick off the season. So I'm looking at that Saturday for sure. Now, throughout that schedule, there isn't anything really great. I don't have a lot of teams I want to go see. So I don't care really about a lot of the different teams coming in. And I'm not looking at traveling to too many games. I will drop a hint on what games I will go to for a travel. But in April, for the next 2 weeks, nothing crazy. And then towards the end of April, we're looking at that third week in April. You got the New York Mets coming into town on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hey, they had a pretty good season last year. They almost took a playoff spot from us. I have a friend from the New York area. He might bring out his kids to see Wrigley Field for the first time. So, again, just for me, that's a cool thing that I'm going to flag on my sports calendar. Hopefully, I can get them out there and take them around Chicago for a good weekend at Wrigley. They have a nice 5 game stretch at home there. Actually, they play 7 straight games at home, hoping that's good weather. End of April, we're starting to hopefully turn the weather, but we'll kind of see. Next couple games in May, they start off the beginning of May, the 1st through 7th. They're at home. They got a nice stretch of home games there at Wrigley. So sure, catch a game or two. Starting to have a lot of fun, catch the blast. And then middle of April, it looks like April. Nope, I'm sorry, May. We're talking May. In the middle of May, we're talking May 15th, 16th, 17th. We're talking Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You got the Cubs at Comiskey. We're going to Comiskey. We're going to the South Side. So we got that crosstown rivalry. Comiskey actually has really good food at their ballpark. They got a lot of different varieties. They really worked hard at spicing, getting some good different food items out there. And their prices are reasonable at Comiskey. And their beer prices are actually cheaper than Wrigley. I think a beer, don't quote me, but might be $11 a beer, where at Wrigley you're pushing up to $15 a beer, maybe 18 if you're getting something fancy. So that's a cool game to mark on the calendars, head out, go downtown, and it should sell out. So again, we're going to have a lot of Cubs fans. You're going to have a lot of White Sox fans. It should be a packed stadium. The White Sox did make some trades, so they got some new Japanese and some different talent coming in. And also, White Sox Cubs tickets, you can get cheap tickets to Comiskey. They're a lot cheaper than what we're used to paying for Wrigley, so probably half price. Great way to see the Cubs, still be downtown, still be Chicago area, and you have a little bit of a rivalry going on. So, and also the Comiskey games are generally a tailgate type of a game. We're Cubs, we go to Wrigleyville, we go to the bars. But if you're rolling down to Comiskey, it's an opportunity to tailgate, pack the car up, get the cooler, get the little grill. It looks like that Saturday game is going to be an afternoon game, maybe at 6 p.m. or 8 p.m., somewhere in there. So, hey, get down to the parking lot around noon, 2 o'clock on Saturday, tailgate, have a blast. Should be a really, really, a lot of fun. Then coming into the next week is the 20, looks about the 24th, 25th, and your Memorial Day weekend. So usually that's a vibe weekend. I mean, that's pretty much the kickoff of summer. Hopefully the weather's getting good. Kids are finishing school. Summertime is kicking in. So we have the typical Friday, Saturday, Sunday game at Wrigley, the Friday 1 o'clock game, Memorial Day weekend. I'm feeling it. I'm definitely looking at that big time on my chart, and possibly the Saturday or the Sunday game. On Monday, Memorial Day, we are away. We are at Pittsburgh. So there won't be a Wrigley game on Memorial Day. You can do some barbecues and some things at home and get out there and play some golf, but we're away. But still, that weekend, a Memorial Day weekend, should be vibing real hard. Try to grab a ticket for one of those games at Wrigley. Then we kick off June. We're pretty much the first week, we have a stretch of home games. You got San Francisco coming in for the weekend. So that Friday, another Friday day game, Wrigley, nothing special, but summertime Wrigley. Friday day game, we're looking early June on kicking that off. You got a few more games there throughout the week. And then at the end of June, we're on the 26th, 27th, 28th. We're at the Milwaukee Brewers. So the Cubbies are going away. They're playing the Brewers on the road. And most of them are afternoon games. The Friday, Saturday games are afternoon. Can't quite tell the Sunday time, but that's a blast. I went to the Brewers game last year and they put on a show. It's not old school baseball like Wrigley. It's not the old school tradition, so it's a little different. But at the Brewers Stadium, their ballpark, I mean, they got a light show going on. They've got sound systems going on. They got great different food options. And then they also have the second level mezzanine. You can pretty much walk around. They have like an open bar area that you can stand around and watch the game from the mezzanine area. So a cool tip is you don't need the best ticket if you go to the Milwaukee Brewers games, especially as a Cubs fan. You can get an upper level cheap ticket and just walk around. And if you want to hang out in that standing room only or hang out at one of their bars on that mezzanine level, that's a great way to see the game. Milwaukee is also a tailgate facility. They don't have any bars really close. So you're going to drive up there, Chicago area. It's about an hour and a half for most of us. You'll get there at 2 o'clock to the tailgate area, hit the grills, throw the cooler down, have a good time, go into the game, and then come back from that. So that's a cool away game. But hey, it's only an hour and a half away for most of us. So you might as well call that a semi-home game. It will be packed. 50, I mean, sellout crowd. You're talking Cubs, Brewers. They are going to be battling for playoff positions this coming year. Both are going to be great teams. So that should be an awesome game. Super hyped about that. Again, summertime vibes. Milwaukee will have the roof open. It'll be an outdoor kind of feeling, but it's just a little bit different vibes than Wrigley. All right, now we're rolling into July. Summertime's rolling. You're in prime drinking form at this point. You got a little tan going. Your golf game should be good. The barbecue should be working at the house. You're skilled up, and we roll into 4th of July. My favorite week of the year. 4th of July is my favorite holiday. It is the Midwest capital. Just, ooh, super excited about 4th of July. Last year, we had games at Wrigley on the Thursday, Friday, Saturday of 4th of July. And guess what? This year, again, we have 4th of July games at Wrigley. It's going to be fucking great. I'm super pumped up about this, as you can tell. So, Friday, it looks like they have a, can't quite tell the time, a day game. And then Saturday, it's actually is the 4th of July, is Saturday, is actually on the chart right now, a night game, a 7 p.m. game. They also have a Sunday game. So 4th of July, downtown Chicago is going to be going off. It should be fun. Now, Chicago usually has a big fireworks show. It used to be on Lake Michigan. It's always every weekend they're having fireworks. And of course, the 4th of July is a huge show. On New Year's, they had a New Year's fireworks show, and it was on the river, right there by the river north and the Marina Towers. It was pretty sweet. You can catch some videos on YouTube of that. Being that the Cubs have a 7 p.m. game, you would probably miss the fireworks show downtown. You're going to miss the River North show if they have one. You'll probably miss the Lake Michigan. You might be able to see a little bit from Wrigley. But my guess is that Wrigley will put on some type of fireworks show for the 4th of July. It might not be huge, but they'll probably do something knowing that they have a game and that they set up a night game. Because most of the time on a Saturday, they're going to play Saturday day games. So Friday day 120, Saturday 120, Sunday 120. So I'm hoping I can go to the Friday game, catch the day game, have a blast, and then I'm going to come back to my pad here by the golf course because we have a big community kind of thing on the golf course for 4th of July, big fireworks show. But that game is hot on my list. Another couple weeks go by. We got a nice 5-game stretch at Wrigley, middle of July. Nothing crazy on my list there. I'll probably just go to the Friday day game. I like that vibe. I usually get that going on Friday day games and maybe even do some action afterwards on the river or the pickleball courts at night on Friday are pretty hot. Your boy's a pro. I hit lasers. Now, End of July, coming towards my birthday, they do have the Yankees on the 31st coming into Wrigley. That's a fun time. Usually, the Yankees obviously bring a crowd. There's usually a bunch of Yankee fans somehow, some way. So that kicks off a nice stretch. We're in the second half of the season at that point. So now we're really have probably by then we've probably made some trades. We've made some additions to the lineup, depending what we need to do for a playoff run. As we get through and we go to August, just some more good summertime baseball games. And then in the middle to the end of the August, somewhere it looks like the 17th, 18th, 19th. It's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We got the White Sox coming into Wrigley. So crosstown rivalry. We go to Comiskey first. They come to Wrigley on the second one. That's a blast. I'm pretty excited about that one. Um, should be night games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Should be night games. So that's a good way to kind of get some action going there in August. Now in September, we have middle of the week to start September. It looks around the second, third, fourth. It looks to be where Milwaukee Brewers at Wrigley. Probably going to be night games. Again, middle of the week. But we're looking at playoffs right then. So that is a huge divisional matchup. We are going to be battling. So again, a lot of Brewers fans should be coming down to Wrigley. Those games sell out. Energy is high. Excited about that. That weekend we're away, but it's Labor Day weekend. We are at Milwaukee Brewers. So we have a big stretch against Milwaukee. We're at home against Milwaukee, and then we go up to Milwaukee on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 straight games at Milwaukee. And Labor Day itself, we are at Milwaukee. So if you're charting your schedule, that's a fun trip. Say, hey, let's go up to the Brewers on Milwaukee on Labor Day, have another tailgate, do the whole vibe. We did it the first time. We got our system down. We got our plans. We know our routes and our traditions. So again, that's a really cool game to head up to. And then we got some home games throughout September, nothing special. There's a few games towards the end of September. We finish the season away at Boston Red Sox. So it just kind of depends on what we're going to do on playoffs and if we're resting people or we're starting everybody and we need to win games there to make the playoffs. So I don't see anything major. By the middle of September, end of September, I'm saving cash to pay for playoff tickets because I'm expecting us to go again. So I probably won't hit anything in the middle to end of September. And we're also football season. The Bears are coming back. We're looking. Bears first game will probably be somewhere middle of September, and they'll have a couple games there in September, hopefully at Soldier Field. So I'm switching some of my sports money in September from Cubs to Bears, which is why you won't see me at every game. So that's kind of what I like to do. I like to look at the calendar. I like to chart certain games I want to go to. I don't have season tickets, so I can't go to them all. But you want to be able to plan if you're going to travel. If you're going to do personal trips and maybe go somewhere else. Cheat on the Cubs, I know, but you're going to go somewhere else, and you got to decide if you're going to go away for Memorial Day weekend. Are you going to go away for 4th of July? Are you going to go away for Labor Day weekend? Where do you got to take the kids on summer trips? Work your schedule, try to find the right games that fit for you. But this year's schedule is awesome. It's great. I'm excited. We basically have Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July, and Labor Day weekend. We have Cubs home games or Milwaukee mini home version to go to this season. So we're starting the season at home. We got holiday games at home, and we got a little stretch there where we get to see some Bears games while we're waiting to see the playoffs. So take advantage. Now, some of these games you can actually buy tickets now and get ahead. And that's a great way. I either like to buy tickets now and get ahead and get really good prices, or I wait till the last second and wait till prices come down the day of the game, an hour or two before the game, and sellers are panicking that they have extra tickets and they start changing prices. Um, those games that I just mentioned that I'd probably go to are all high demand games too. So if you buy tickets and your schedule changes, life comes up, you have a real good chance of putting those up for sale and selling them, and a good chance as you get closer of making money. So I can buy Labor Day tickets, you can buy 4th of July tickets, you can buy your Memorial Day tickets, and those will sell. That's not a hard ticket. You buy midweeks, Tuesday, Wednesdays, you might get stuck with those if you don't go to the game. But if you're looking at Friday day games, Saturday day games, Sunday day games, it's real safe to buy those now. If you see seats you like and prices that you really, really like, take advantage, get good deals, go to Wrigley, have a blast. It's going to be a summer. You'll see me out there. Come say hi. Um, Old style beer is my thing. Sheffield's is my bar to start at, and then Murphy's is my other bar, and then maybe slide into Billy Goat Tavern a little bit. I'm not big in the Nashvilleification of Clark Street. You probably won't see me at some of those other fancy young kids bars like Old Crow and Broken Saddle. You might catch me at Sluggers, but Sheffield's and Murphy's, maybe a Billy Goat. Have a blast. Hit me up. Check the link in the description. Subscribe to my channel. Bear down, ball out, and let's have a good time at Wrigley this summer. Hit me up.